can't remember what episode this is because I do them so sporadically. Maybe 21, but it doesn't matter. It just fucking don't count, does it? Thanks for coming on. This is Jess. Jess is by trade an actress, an actor. What do you prefer? Either.
Do you know what? Actress. Not wrong with being an actress. Good old actress.
Proud about it? Yeah.
Absolutely. Actor. I mean, it's. Do you know what? Either. I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
Either.
Good. And I wanted to find out a little bit more about acting, what it entails, and your crazy life. We've been trying to put this together for a few months now.
It's like, I'm not free anymore, I've got to go.
To
London.
There was a little bit of like, you get asked to go down to London, do auditions, can't turn it down, and then a little bit me being disorganised and being like, oh yeah, I've got 800 things on that week, maybe I can't fit.
Are you free in 3 weeks?
Yeah, well, that's what we did. Yeah.
Yes, here we are.
Yeah. So how are you? All right.
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah. I'm good.
Busy
I'm good
day?
at the minute. Yeah, very busy. I've had a very busy weekend. Just Christmas, lots of things popping up, and I'm not very good at saying no to things, which I'm learning. I'm going to have to start doing because I'm kind of like, I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
And 1 minute I'm in Middlesbrough teaching, the next minute I'm in Leeds doing so. It's just, I'm all over the place. Essentially, people are like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, I think so.
Could do with a cup of tea.
Could do with a cup of tea and a palm oil, but I'm alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you teaching earlier?
I was teaching singing.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So because I do musical theatre, a lot of musical theatre, so that musical theatre is basically like obviously acting through singing, acting through dance, acting in scenes and stuff like that. So it's kind of a mix of everything. But I like to teach acting through song.
Okay.
Is one of my strong points, I think.
Yeah.
But that's what I prefer to do. But I was just teaching singing, like technique and stuff.
Was it young kids there?
Yeah, I teach at a lot of dance schools and stuff like that. So Good.
And what's the kind of technical challenges between telling the story through singing? I try to tell stories through the medium of video and film and music videos and stuff. Sometimes the beauty of music videos is I go, oh my god, I don't have to worry about sound.
Yeah.
It's all just there. I've got to tell a story through actions and meanings and I have to write a script with no words. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's a bit of a godsend because I'm like, oh, okay, I don't have to.
It's all in the eyes.
I'm like, I don't have to worry about the fuzz or like.
No,
So what's it like, kind of?
Sound is a whole new thing, isn't it? I mean, not a new thing, but like a whole different level on top of it. No, well, acting through song, it's kind of my process. Might be interesting to you. My process of learning a musical theatre song. So if I was learning a standalone musical theatre song, I'd first of all learn the melody line, the basic melody line of what it is, and then once that's ingrained in my brain, alongside the words, I try and learn the words. Yeah. That's when I would have to throw away all the hard work of how it would sound and go back to the text and what I was saying. And that's where the acting kind of side of things comes in, because then I focus on what I'm saying as opposed to how I sound and if it sounds nice. You get me? That comes from years of kind of, I've practiced it throughout the years and stuff like that. So it's more so like I drill in the words and the melody without thinking about my acting at first, and then I kind of go back to the text and what I'm saying, and that helps me with like phrasing and stuff like that, because do you know, when basic stuff like breathing in a song, where you would breathe, so I look at the text and where sentences form and thoughts, which things are new thoughts that I'm singing, so every new thought would be, I'd have to follow it through with the same energy and kind of try and do it in the same breath majority of the time, and then you'd breathe for the next new thought.
You take a step and then you'd
So when I teach the kids that I teach, I tell them to kind of go back to the text once we've learnt the song and to be like, okay, how would you say this out loud? How would you say this to me? You wouldn't breathe in the middle of that sentence, would you? No. So why are you breathing in the middle of that sentence? We need to fix that. So that's how I would do it, go back to the text. But that comes from years of, I've trained as a singer since I was about 5 or 6.
Okay.
Started singing. So like that's come from years of practice. Yeah. And
was that something your parents kind of put onto you, or were you naturally inclined to just perform?
I mean, I think I was a born performer because I used to go to dancing. My mum took me to dancing. I started dancing when I was 3.
Okay.
But I've always loved to like entertain people. So at family parties, stuff like that, I'd jump on the table and start singing My Heart Will Go On. Probably not very good at the time, but I used to love to entertain. I have like vivid memories of wearing my first bra. And like I must have been like, my mum must have bought me this really fancy bra looking thing that wasn't a bra. But like really fancy bra, and like I'd have like my best pants on, and I'd go down and like sing The Lady Is the Bomb by the Spice Girls. I'd be like, everyone sit down and watch me. This would be like family parties. My mum's like, put some clothes on. It's like, but yeah, I used to just want to perform. I used to perform to my family and just make up shows and stuff like that. And I'd always be the one that wanted to make people laugh at dancing. And with my dancing, I've always had this complex about my dancing that I'm not fantastic, but I always used to just mess around, I think, and just want to make people laugh. So I used to be the one that wanted to shock people.
Right, just
and my dance teachers would be like, oh, Jess will do that, like Jess will do that bit, make people laugh. Like, so that's the kind of the way it rolled, really. But from that, I've never ever thought, I mean, at one point I thought I wanted to be a vet, and then I saw blood and I was like, I don't want to be a vet. I've never thought about doing anything else but just performing in some aspect.
Some way, shape or form. It's funny, we mentioned dancing. I remember being in school play, and it was like Christmas, but it was summer theme. It was like a summer themed Christmas thing. This is primary school, and I had some maracas, right? And I got told I never got picked for any starring roles or anything in school. Not sure why. Yeah, so I had some maracas, right? And they told me to dance, and I remember dancing, and I remember the whole fucking place erupting with laughter, and I was like, what's everybody laughing at? And I was like, they're laughing at me, and I was like, I'm trying really hard to like do a really good dance here with my maracas, like it's like I want to be taken seriously with my dancing. I remember looking at my mum and being like, you bitch, like even you're laughing.
You
like
put me up there.
And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was
just a born entertainer, mate.
Traumatised. I know, But maybe that's my whole thing. Maybe I'll constantly try and be really serious, and everyone's just gonna laugh at me.
Maybe that's your calling.
Yeah, like Ricky Gervais style in the office. Like, yeah. Everyone's just gonna laugh at me. I'm glad you had a better experience. So what's the transition like to kind of, I guess when you're younger, everybody has hopes and dreams, and I want to be a fireman. Look at me now, you know what I mean? But I always watch films, and I was always into music. And that's kind of I've lived like a semi-charmed life. I've been quite fortunate in the things that I've done. How did you kind of end? We all go through school and college. What was it like kind of coming out of that and being like, right, I want to be an actor, I want to be a performer, how the fuck am I going to make money at this?
I'm not going to lie, like it's been a mad kind of roller coaster, because I've always wanted to do it. And I've always worked my butt off. Like, I'm not even afraid to say that anymore. I'm not going to be modest and be like, it's all down to luck. No, like I worked really hard, even before going away to drama school. Like, I always wanted to have the songs that other people didn't have. And I wanted to train in my voice in different ways. One minute I was singing jazz, the next minute I was like, I want to sing classical. The next minute I was like, I want to be in a rock band. Like, and then I just want to do everything. I want to be good at everything. So I really worked hard growing up. When I look back at the amount of singing lessons and stuff that I had, like, I worked my butt off. So I kind of took that. And I think that's a northern thing as well, that we feel like we have to work really, really hard to get to where we want to be. Nothing comes easy. So I've always had that attitude, I think. So I'm not afraid of hard work. I went in, but I was very lucky, and I got on Over the Rainbow on BBC, and I didn't really expect that to go anywhere. It just kind of snowballed into this massive thing, and I was like, oh.
How old were you then?
I just turned 18.
Okay. And what was that? Tell me about that a little bit.
Over the Rainbow. So it was like the search for Dorothy for the West End version of The Wizard of Oz. That Andrew Lloyd Webber put on the BBC.
Yeah.
A musical theatre X Factor. So I think I was killing time. I'd got my place at drama school at Arts Ed in London, which is one of the top drama schools in London, amazing. But I was waiting to hear about whether I'd got a scholarship, and I wouldn't have been able to go if I hadn't got a scholarship. I was going to have to try and find funding, or I'd have to just say, I'm sorry, I can't go. So while I was kind of killing time waiting to find out what my fate was, this audition came up, and I was like, oh god, I might as well go. I'm not going to get anywhere. I've been for X Factor before and not gotten anywhere, and I just thought I'm going to rock up and whatever. And then on the day I sang for Andrew Lloyd Webber, just happened to be there. The 4 girls, I was kind of like the third girl in 4 girls that he watched that day, and then he left. So I was like, what are the odds of that? This is weird. So from that he took a liking to me, and it just kind of evolved from there, and then I was on live TV every bloody Saturday. People's faces, but giving it facial expressions as well. People like, oh my gosh, she's so expressive, so that evolved from that. But when I was rehearsing for the top 20 in that, and nobody knew I was doing it, I didn't tell anybody from home. Everyone was like, where has she gone? I was like, I'm not very well. I'm at home, I'm sick. Family issues, all this business. But I didn't tell anyone, I kept it a secret. And
did your mum know?
My mum knew. And my family knew, but my mates and college didn't know. I was like, I can't come in, I'm sorry. I was rehearsing for the top 20 at the time, and I got a phone call from my mum to be like, you've got your scholarship. So I was then able to enjoy this whole experience without the pressure of feeling like, what's coming next?
What if? I was
like, oh right, I'm just going to have a really good laugh. So when people watch those videos, they watch me getting voted off on the moon, because I came 5th in the end. When I got voted off, people were like, you look so happy, and I was like, I was buzzing, I'm off to drama school.
You already
I don't care.
It was
I was
the end of the line.
My whole the next 3 years are planned out for me. I'm chilling. So I just really enjoyed that experience because of that. And then I kind of went on into drama school, started essentially I was up here and had to start right down at the bottom again. Which was something I was okay with, because I could have went into the industry straight after Over the Rainbow. I was getting auditions through and stuff like that, but I just was so dead set on, again, making myself as versatile and castable and employable as possible. And I obviously wanted to have the longest career that I could kind of have. So in order to do that, I needed to train, get my technique and stuff like that. So I always say there's stuff that I learned at drama school that I wouldn't have learned anywhere else, and there's stuff that I learned on Over the Rainbow that I didn't learn at drama school. It's like these experiences both give me a lot of different kind of views, and completely different experiences that I got a lot from in different ways. So then from that I went out into the big bad world of the industry, and I did my 3rd year show, and I got an agent from my 3rd year show. Great agent that I'm with, and I'm still with them today.
Same agent,
and it's hard, I'm not gonna lie, it's like this, because I was really lucky. I got Mamma Mia in the West End straight out of college, so I just jumped straight into that and did that for a year, and didn't really experience being out of work, and that is when you're kind of like, what is going on? Is this real life? Is this my life? I'm unemployed. It sounds so tragic, but at the same time, those are when you learn the most about yourself, I think, as well. So I'm constantly in this state of, it's just so inconsistent that you have to learn to be consistent in yourself in amongst that. Which I'm still very much learning now, and I'm 5 years out of drama school.
It's funny, isn't it? a lot of people would have been tempted after your success on Over the Rainbow to just go, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know, here's my chance, here's my opportunity. You know what I mean? So it's quite mature of you at the time to then go, no, I'm going to go to drama school and focus on my craft and stuff.
Yeah.
Because tons of people wouldn't have done that.
No.
I don't know if I would have. I'd just been like, I'm going there. Let's make some money. And that's it's almost like being self-employed, isn't it? You don't know where the next. Well, you are self-employed.
Yeah, self-employed. I need to do my tax return. Just reminded me.
You don't know where like the next gig is going to come from, essentially, do you?
No.
Which can fuel the fire, I think.
Do you know what? In the past, I'm a bit of a control freak. I've learned this year, especially that I'm like, I would love to have everything set up so that I know what's happening.
Yeah. But
at the same time, I also love when something comes out of the blue that just completely knocks you over, that you don't expect.
Yeah.
And then they turn out to be the best jobs that we do.
Yeah.
I come off the back of an international tour with Les Mis, and I just got home from Dubai, and I was like, right, I'm moving to London, back to London in the January, back we go. And my agent was like, let's get you a job in London. And the next job that I got was back in Dubai.
Right, okay.
And like that, I just didn't expect. Just a really short and sweet contract, because I'd only ever done long contracts.
Right.
And that came out of the blue. And that to date is my favourite job that I've done.
Yeah.
It was like 4 weeks rehearsal, 2 weeks in Dubai, we did Greece.
It
was just the biggest laugh, and those are the moments that I live for, and that was completely out of the blue, so I'm learning to love the spontaneity of it. Yeah. Because I'm learning to, I think I've always pinned my happiness on my work as well, and I'm learning that there's much more to life than work. Yeah. I need to be happy in myself in order to feel happy completely. Because I did that with my last job. I was like, when I get another job, I'm going to be really happy. I'm going to have money. I'm going to be able to afford a social life. And I'm going to be able to do this and this and this. And I got in the job, and it was an amazing job. It should have been my dream job, and I was really unhappy. Okay. Yeah. So that set off a lot. Yeah, it's funny how that turns out. Yeah. That spontaneity thing's interesting. I remember, I think I've talked about this before, but there was a golden age of Twitter, right? Mm-hmm. Before your mum got on it and oh my God. And it was got full of racists. My mum does follow me on Twitter, and I always get I look on if I see her phone, I click her phone by mistake instead of mine at home. It's so and so made a tweet, and I'm like, why are you stalking me? You should get notifications. I love that. Yeah. So I remember getting offered a job just because it was full of creative, nice, fun people. I remember those days. Yeah, it was nice, wasn't it? I wish there was another. I used to tweet about Leeds Festival. When I was at Leeds Festival. In 2009. Yeah. I tweeted, just saw the killers, something like that. That's how my tweets are. But yeah, I got offered a job to work as an on-site editor at Latitude Festival, and I was like, yeah, cool. When is it? Leaving tomorrow. You'd be back on the Monday. Can you do it? And I was like, Phil Saunders was the boss at the time, and I was like, Phil, can I go do this thing? And Phil was always great with me doing this stuff. I was just like, yeah, go do what you want. I think he kind of vicariously lived his dream through me. Go spread your wings. Yeah. I won't hold you back. Which is nice of him. So I jumped on a train, went to Latitude Festival, and had one of the best weekends I've ever had in my life. And editing isn't very glamorous. Mm-hmm. The guys would go out and shoot a ton of festival footage all day, which is obviously the fun bit. Mm-hmm. Then bring it back to me, and it's sort of 4 o'clock. It'd be go time for me because I had to turn the video around by 7 o'clock. Then we go live. So it was bam, here's all the footage. Well, directed there. Camera, why did you shoot this? What the fuck was? What was you thinking? What do you want to kind of get? Where's the visual effects? I'm shooting visual effects. Can someone give me some? Give me smoke. Just anything. Is there a logo? Bang, right there. It's on the Leeds Met website. Right. Okay. Cool. All right. Can I have a drink now? And then we'd go and get pissed because our job was done for the day. And then I just kind of wander around till 4 o'clock till lunch time again. But I went with a complete bunch of strangers. That there was a crew because there was. As well as the film crew, there was a whole student thing of they provided 100 people. Yeah. So we all had our own on-site campsite, which was full of nutters, and it was amazing. I met people on there that after that I did a couple more festivals with, and there's a few of them that I still have on Facebook and Instagram stuff, and I still talk to because I'm
that weekend was
just... It's when you bond over a experience, isn't it?
Yeah. And some of them are like doing great things now, and it's just bizarre, but how often does, you know, that phone call come? Even like I got one last week, and I've got to Amsterdam next week to work on a music video, which is like...
Take me with you.
Come if you want. Staying on the boat for 3 days, even better.
I'm desperate to go to Amsterdam.
Yeah, it's for a house DJ, which, you know, I don't really like house music, but I can't turn it down, you know what I mean?
No, absolutely not.
You've got to kind of... I got offered it, and basically... It couldn't have come at a worse time in terms of, you know, we're talking about busyness and stuff earlier. And I kind of had to kind of step back and make sure I had a dog sitter, and I was like...
I love your dogs.
Thanks. I had to kind of take a step back and go, right, like in what world, you know, like would I turn this down?
No,
you know
I know,
I mean? Like the money's not the best, but the opportunity is amazing. So I was just like, fuck it, like what's the alternative?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? See if I'm dead or something like that.
I'm exactly like that, yeah.
Yeah. But it gets harder when you get older.
No, I know. I did something like a bit not to do with work, well, kind of to do with work. Like when I finished the job that I was doing this year, I finished in September. Within the space of a month, I'd done like 5 auditions, and I got a no for every single one that I'd done. And I got right down to the end for some of them, and I just not heard anything. And I found myself like pacing the floor, refreshing my emails, like as actors do, because people don't tell us the answers, and communication's crap. But I found myself, and one day my godmother came round, and I've got her son lives in America, in Washington, with his wife and now my godson.
Right.
And then my other cousin lives in Ohio, and my godmother was like, your cousin's going down from Ohio to see my other cousin James. This week, like next weekend. Oh yeah, they're all going to be there, they're going to FaceTime us. And I was like, I'm just going to check flights a minute. So I like got on Skyscanner and found a cheap flight, and I was just like, I'm going to do it. I'm sick of my job dictating my life. I was like, screw you, you knows. And I was like, I messaged my agent to be like, just to let you know, I'm thinking about going on this long weekend to Washington DC.
Which is a long weekend.
I was like, so do you think it'll be alright? And they were like, obviously if something comes up, like can't help that, but if we knew that something was going to come up like on the Monday, I think it was, then we would know by now, and whatever. And I just said, okay, cool. And that other job that I've been in for, that I'm waiting to hear for, if I hear back and it's during these dates that they want to see me again and they can't do any other date, I don't want to know. I was like, I don't want to know, I'm going away, and I don't want the guilt. So I did it. I booked along like for the following weekend. It was so spontaneous, and it was the best ever. I surprised them. They didn't know.
Right, okay.
He thought he was picking up my other cousin a night early. He turned up and I was like, hey.
Hi, it's me.
Outside the station in Washington. He's like, what is going on? But yeah, that was amazing. Like, that made me realise that I'm like, you got to take those moments when you can. Like, if you find that cheap flight, go. If you get a phone call, sod it. Like,
you've got to, haven't you?
I said, like, what would I rather spend my birthday money on? Like, going out for food, 20 palmos, and like nights out. Like, that's a waste of money. Clothes. I've got too many clothes. I need to sell my clothes. Like, too many. Like, no, experience. Get away. But yeah, it felt so good to be like, no, you will not ruin my life, I'm off. And I did. So, and here we are.
I was watching a thing with Charles Gambino the other day.
I love him.
Yeah, and he was saying that acting is the only job where you have to constantly prove that you can do that job. You don't you don't go wherever you work and be like, oh, can you make sure you can do that thing again before you start work?
No, I know. Yeah.
Which is what auditions are. What's it like? I guess you say there you got 5 no's in a row.
Oh yeah.
What's it like? Like, I mean, to a regular person, if they, you know, you're essentially saying, am I right for this? And then you're having those people go, no. To build up like a bit of resilience to it.
Do you know what? I always say that it never hurts any less when you get a no.
Yeah.
You just get better at dealing with it.
Yeah.
Get better and understand what you need to do to process it in order to move on. And across the years, I mean, I obviously being on that TV show, I got feedback and critiqued every single week, so I had to kind of learn then.
Yeah, quite quickly.
How to deal with it. I was thrown in at the deep end because it was on national TV, and I mean I did cry on TV, but at the same time it's like, I will not let you beat me, and I was kind of like Northern pride like coming through.
Yeah.
I think I cried like on one of the weeks, and then when my friend got voted off. But like with that, you have to learn very quickly, because if you spend too much time wallowing in your own kind of ego, oh god, they didn't like me, you've probably missed the next opportunity that's come along. Yeah. Or you go into that next, if you get an audition for the next day and you're still broken hearted about the thing the day before, and then you go into that audition with that mindset and you have a really bad attitude and it all goes crap because you're going in with this, oh, I'm not good, like this self-doubt and this horrible feeling. Like you have to just sweep on the rug and move forward, because otherwise I completely believe that energy in an audition room makes the whole way of difference. Like with job interviews as well, like if you go in using your nerves negatively, you have to learn how to curb those nerves. If you go in thinking, I'm crap, I'm going to forget the words, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, and you go in with this energy that people can sense it. People can like taste it almost. Like I know when I teach singing, when kids walk in and they're really nervous, I'm like, you're nervous, I can feel it. Like so you have to kind of try and push that aside. And it's hard. It's really hard. Like, especially if you get 5 in a bloody row and you're like, I'm crap. I'm crap. I can't sing anymore. But at the same time, you look at. I now turn it on its head, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do this how I want to do it.
Yeah.
Me, myself, my interpretation of what they've asked me to do.
Yeah. And
I go in. And I make choices with how I perform. If I've got the material for the show that I'm up for or whatever, I'll make choices with how I want to do it, how I would play the character if I was doing the show, if I was doing a TV series, if I was doing whatever. And if they don't like it, that is not my fault.
Yeah.
Like, because that doesn't mean that I'm crap unless I forget the words and I'm like, oh, screw you.
Yeah, if there's a genuine error.
It's just like it's a vision thing. It's an artistic vision thing.
Yeah.
And I often turn it on its head, because then when I see who they do cast, and if I don't agree with it, I'm like, I don't agree with their decision either. So there we go. And I feel really good about it.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of do to help me through now. I think I feel like if I've done everything that I could possibly do to the best of my ability, and I've shown myself my true, authentic self.
Yeah.
And what I have to offer, and I don't shortchange myself, then if they like it, fantastic. If they don't, no point in wallowing on it.
Not the right fit, almost. Not that you're not competent. You know what I mean? It's they were probably looking for like a slightly different personality type or look.
And a lot of the time, it's to do with who else is in the cast. And if I'm going into a long running show, whether I fit who else is in the cast already. It's all of these different things that I can't even... I can't help it if I've got blonde hair, like... I'm not going to dye my hair for an audition. No, like, sod off. It's just to do with a lot of different things like that. And it's fitting the jigsaw together.
When you do those kind of like long form theatre, like big touring things, is a lot of it they kind of already have like an established cast and someone's dropped out or someone doesn't want to do it anymore and you're jumping in, or is it like do they kind of pick and choose everyone and put it all together?
It depends how big the cast changes, if people have decided to leave or if people have not been kept on awkward. But with like long running shows, like in the West End stuff, like Mamma Mia, a group of us went into the job and there was a lot of people who'd stayed on for another year.
Right, okay,
So the girl who played the lead part, who's now my mate, Emma, was bumped up from her understudy. She was an understudy in the first year and she got bumped up to the part. So then we came in as me and my friend Steph from college came in as her best friends.
Right.
And fit in there. So it was like just different combos with, I don't know, like people, we go in and fit tracks, but then other people might get shifted up and it all moves around. It depends. But touring companies, I mean the two that I've just done, an officer and a gentleman, that was a completely new musical, a completely new piece. I did the workshop and then got offered the job.
Right.
So I helped develop it in the last stages, and then jumped into the job. And then some people from that workshop couldn't do the show or had other things booked already. So then they auditioned for the other parts for the show. Yeah. So it's different. It depends.
Do you feel like whenever I've toured with bands, it's usually smaller. It's usually like a 8 or 9 man crew.
Yeah.
But you feel like a bit of a gang, don't you, when you're like kind of like all together and moving.
Yeah, you're living in each other's pockets, and sometimes that is really lovely, and sometimes it's a pain in the arse. Yeah.
I find it's quite again, like you learn more and more and more about people, and you know, there's times when you just look at someone and you go, yeah, I'm not going to talk. Like you just know that to give them 5 minutes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I'm going to go for a cup of tea. Yeah, I learned that, especially this year actually. The older I get, the more I start to understand that people have their own lives and people have other things going. And do you know what, that's really healthy, because if you live in your work, especially on tour, which it's really hard not to be consumed by the whole thing, it's just not very healthy.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, go.
I used to go into, when I was going to a race, I was managing Skins and Needles at the time, and I'd be like, second I'm getting in this van, I'm like blocking everybody's numbers from work. Like, because it was like, I get phone calls constantly, messages constantly. I'd be like, I'm just blocking everyone, and I'd be like, this is amazing, like, but I just had that thing in the back of my head where I was like, I'm going to have to deal with real life when I get, you know, like in 8 days time when I get off that van, I get back in and I turn my fucking WhatsApp, I like re-download WhatsApp. And I'd be like, fucking what's going on? And so it's funny, innit? Do you spend 10 minutes a day kind of dealing with real life and then spend the rest of it enjoying it? I don't know.
Work-life balance, isn't it? Work-life balance. Especially being self-employed. I learn this more when I'm out of work, actually. When I'm in work, I'm like, okay, that's my routine. I've kind of got a routine around it. During the day, I mean, this year I was super bored during the day, and I tried to keep myself creative, but my mind wasn't really in the right place. And normally I like to write and bits like that. And I did a little bit, but I'd be like, cinema again. Cinema in Ipswich, cinema in High Wycombe, cinema in this. Like, there's only so much of the UK you can see before you're like, oh. But it's... I have a routine when I'm in a job. Like, I know that I'm going to work on the night, I'll be doing my job, I'll be busy all night, and then that's it. Whereas when I'm out of work, I'm like, all these lines are blurred, and I've got people messaging me about asking for advice, and like people messaging me, can you teach this, can you do this workshop? And then in the end, now I've decided that I'm not going to reply to anything after like 7 o'clock. To do with work. I'm like, I'll deal with you in the morning. I can't. And then I try, I'm not very good at it at the minute, I'm working on getting better, but I try to wake up, have a little bit of time to myself in the morning without checking anything, have my breakfast, then designate a kind of set time to be like, okay, I'm going to reply to all my emails now. Do all this admin now. And then I'm going to go and have a coffee and a piece of cake, after that. But I try and do some kind of routine, which I'm not very good at the minute, because when you get busy, that's when it all goes out the window, and you're like, oh my god, I need to on the move, grab that bagel, grab this, and it's hard to look after yourself, but finding a balance in it, it's so hard, but balance is key, I think. If only I could take my own advice.
It's just I mean, when I left Skins, and I had a job where I had a bit of time on my hands, and I wasn't quite doing anything creatively. I took a big break from making videos and making films and stuff. And it was kind of in that period where I was like, you know what the fuck to do with myself? And Lottie'd come home from work, and I'd be like, babe, I made loads of wine today.
No, I feel you. I think I'm in this place right now.
And looking back, she was just like, okay, and I'd be like, I'm just gonna label it up and give it to people for Christmas, and
I swear.
But you know when you I was researching how to, I built a thing to put all my dog's clothes in, all the leads and all the coats, and actually dog coats because of ground, and I was like, I need another job.
No, I googled the other day. I googled on the train back from London. One of the many times I've been in London in the past month. I'm sick to death of the train line. I googled how to make kombucha.
How
millennial, like quarter life crisis is that? How do I make kombucha? Maybe you could start a kombucha company. That'd be like healthy and. Like, in what world would I make kombucha?
The amount of business ideas I've had, and then I've just went
like you have these crazy ideas and you're like, I'm going to do it, and then like something else comes up and you're like, distraction,
And that's what when we were saying earlier, and now I'm like, oh my god, I'm so busy, which is a whole like new kettle of fish to deal with. But I'm like, it's a nice one because I'm like, right, I've got loads to do. That's good. I'm not like, oh, I'll make wine for a living. You know what I mean?
I proper relate. That's all I can say right now. Like, I do you find you have to take it like when you're really busy as well? Like you have to be like, okay, what am I doing today? What is this next hour? Like, where am I now? Like, I have to literally take it one step at a time. Like, if I try and think about a bigger picture, I'm like,
I'm like, oh my god,
I can't. Overwhelmed.
I drank loads of Dr Pepper last night before I went to sleep because I just eat shit on a Sunday. It's amazing, right? I was playing PlayStation. I drank without realising. I drank loads of Dr Pepper and I was like, went to bed and I was like, wow. And I was just thinking about all of the projects that I need to finish. So before kind of like the Christmas break, and there's like I'm shooting some videos for some award ceremonies and stuff, and like I was like, why? I was just like, why did it? So, but what it did was it made me wake up this morning and go, right, get the fuck out of bed, because before I go to work, I've got work to do. Yeah. So you know what I mean?
You have to do it. I'm not gonna stay awake on a night because I'm lazy and I procrastinate and whatever. Like
it's nice to have something to focus on, because I was like, right, now I need to break this beast of like 5 or 6 projects down into manageable chunks. So now what can I do? I can spend half an hour creating the graphics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One step at a time.
Yeah. Otherwise you fall down. Yeah. And I think that's where I've fallen down in the past. I remember putting off editing projects for ages because I was just like, it's too big. You know what I mean?
It's fear.
Yeah.
Procrastination is fear.
Yeah.
You're scared to do it for some deep down reason.
Bizarre. Yeah, it probably is fear of failure because you're thinking like, I remember editing being like, I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah. And then that becomes 2 or 3 weeks later. You know what I mean? Bit older, bit wiser now, so that's alright. Yeah. Yeah, figured it out.
But it is fear. It's like you're scared to. Which doesn't make sense. It looks like laziness, but it's not. It's just this deep down fear that if you do it, it's gonna be crap.
Yeah.
Because I've started writing different things. Like I started filming something. I started writing something, and I've just put it off and put it off and put it off because I'm impatient and I can't be. I'm like, I just want to see the end result and I want it to be fantastic. Sometimes I'm a bit bad at going through the hard kind of slog of it. Yeah. On the flip side, I'm just like, I just put it off and I put it off, and I've been putting off. I've got like 60 projects I just put to bed because I'm scared they're gonna be crap. Yeah. But
I was like, right, I'm gonna write a book, I'm gonna write a film, I'm gonna write something, and I actually I really enjoy the process. And I'd speak to my friend Johnny, who is a screenwriter by trade, and I'm like, I'm working on this, I'm working on this, I'm working on this, and I do that thing where you start those projects and then you don't finish any of them. Yeah. And then I was like, hang on, right, I'm doing this wrong because I've got an income. I don't need a job as a writer. Yeah. I wanted to write to kind of help my directing, and so I thought, now I treat it like it's like a fun thing to do. So I've got half an hour. I'm like, oh, I'll write for a bit, like, because I've just kind of like, everyone's quiet or like, loads at work, dogs are asleep. I'm like, right, it's amazing. I've got half an hour to write it. So then I write and I'm like, this is great. But because it's like my fun leisure thing, I'm really hard on myself. I forget, like, I don't have that consistency because I don't have fun every day. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? I'm like, like that can wait because I need to edit this or whatever. So because of that, I've managed to turn writing into like a really nice, enjoyable thing.
Oh, I needed this.
That. Yeah.
Because I put too much pressure on myself and it, because I link it to my work as well. Because I want to write a short. I want to get more into screen work, so I want to write my own stuff. Yeah. To produce. Yeah. To get myself out there in that kind of environment. Yeah. And I put too much pressure on it, so that's really. I'm going to make it fun again.
Just do it for fun. So
I'm going to do it.
Yeah. But the issue is the consistency, because when you want to work on something, you go, right, every day I'm going to edit this, I'm going to film this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
When you do it for fun, you go, right, well, but yeah, try that.
Yeah. I'm going to.
It's funny you should say that, because I thought, I'm going to write a short film, because this is how I'm going to make a film. Because I'm going to have to create this opportunity for myself.
Yeah.
Do you find the same thing with acting?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because actually there's a massive, and I don't know how aware of this people are.
Yeah.
I mean, I go home every Christmas and at least somebody's like, why don't you get yourself on that Coronation Street? This is honestly, it's the most cliche thing. Ask any actor, they go home at a family event, and people are like, oh, you need to get yourself on that X Factor. I'm like, I'm gonna like, or you'll get, why don't you get a real job? And I'm like, I'm gonna punch you. Yeah. Why don't you?
You know that shit you watch on Netflix?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for people like me, you wouldn't
have it. So behave yourself.
Yeah.
Stand down. So with that, there is a lot as well in musical theatre of, you get pigeonholed.
Okay.
And now that I've been in musicals, it's quite hard to break up. I mean, it's hard to get into TV anyway. There's so many people in this industry, new graduates every year from all of these drama schools. It's a constant battle to get in there. But it's so hard to cross over. I think a lot of people struggle with it. It's getting better.
Yeah.
And there are more and more musical theatre actors going into TV and film, which is really good. And do you know, I don't understand why, because musical theatre is a skill like no other.
I don't think that not as many TV and film actors will be able to go into musical theatre.
No, they can't sustain 8 shows. It's 8 shows a week, and
they can't fucking sing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what people don't realise. When you've got why I find it so insulting actually, that on programmes like X Factor and stuff, people are like, you'd be really good in musicals. I'm like, you need to pipe down. You do not understand the skill and the time and hard work it takes to be in a musical. It's not easy. It's exhausting. Absolutely exhausting. Like, you see TV and film people, and TV and film acting is a particular skill, because it's not as big as theatre. You're not performing to an audience. It's more intimate. It's more internal, kind of. It's closer up.
Yeah.
So you don't need it to be like la la. Here we go. It's a skill. Yeah, it's subtle. It's a skill in itself, but the skill, you have to be able to act through a song, act in a scene, act in a dance. Dance, you have to tap, do jazz, bit of like ballet, whatever, musicals. There's all sorts. Singing, you've got all these different styles of singing. You have to be able to sing. Rock, legit like old school, like Sound of Music and stuff like that. Jazz, Broadway belle, all of this like massive kind of mix of things that you have to be able to do. And then we get pigeonholed, and we won't see you do musical theatre. I'm like, bog off, how lazy. How lazy.
I think it's just an excuse to kind of thin the sheer amount of applicants.
Oh, I mean, well, sometimes feedback is a bit bull.
But
I honestly don't know, but it's getting better, and more people are actually creating stuff for themselves. A lot of my mates now are like, okay, I'm going to crack into a bit of TV and film, so I know I have to do the work to get there. How am I going to do it? I'm going to write scenes, I'm going to film them, film them when I'm out of work, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I did a short film in Manchester that my mate was doing. She did Extra Girls for us, so I drove there for the night. Did that. Did a music video the other night. I've done a few music videos in the borough. Class. People are like, you love a music video. Everywhere you look. Oh, she's back, she's there again. Sick of her face.
It's funny because it's an easy narrative form to pull together. I spent a lot of time working on music videos straight out of university, like assisting on shoots and stuff. I got quite lucky with some opportunities, and I've since made 5 or 6, and it's almost like practice. And the more I've kind of watched people that have like survived or got through to like the film industry, there's kind of like videographers, and then videographers that kind of move into music videos. The music videos can sometimes turn into TV, which can turn into film. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's funny how how it's a similar thing with acting, but I think it's quite. It's like an independent thing, isn't it? Because here's an independently produced production, whereas it's not a TV show, so it's not going to take. It's not, you know, like the difference between the amount of acting required for a 3-minute music video compared to a 30-minute
and the
TV
budget,
show.
it's money as well.
Yeah,
it's money, like,
yeah. So you can like create. You're always quite like creating like 3-minute films basically, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of looked around at Teesside and Newcastle and stuff and thought, well, no one's going to pick up the phone and go, hey, here's a script, I want you to direct, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to have to create these opportunities myself, so how do I do that? I'm going to have to write a 5-minute script. Yeah. So.
With music videos as well, I love music. Like, if I wasn't doing theatre or acting, I'd have tried to I wanted to go, like, do a jazz course and stuff like that. I love music, so I love coming home and we have such a good music scene here. We have so many talented writers and singers and musicians that I just love coming home and being thrown in and amongst it all. I kind of get my kicks that I wouldn't get down in London.
Yeah.
There's something about the music scene up here that I just find so honest and so kind of real that I don't get anywhere else. Yeah. I love it. I love coming to gigs up here. So to be involved in people's projects, like people's music videos, I'm like, I'm there, let me in, like, and I really want to do that myself. Like, I do write songs and stuff like that, like, none of which I've really shared, like, publicly or tried to promote because I've done it as a fun thing.
Yeah.
But I would like to do, like, I'd like to do a film, like, that has music in and has all these different bits in. I'd love to write something like that. Yeah. I just put it off because I'm scared. Yeah.
I think it's testament to Teesside a little bit because we're a bit further up north, we don't have that many opportunities. So like musically we go, right, well, again, no one's going to sign me, so I'm going to have to put
it out there,
graft in and do it. So it is a northern thing, but it's a good quality to have because
absolutely, like,
as opposed to people sitting around and waiting for opportunities to come to them.
Yeah.
So how do you find like acting on music videos and stuff like that and being directed in that kind of more intimate sense?
I mean, it's a hoot. It's long. It's a long process because sometimes you have to reshoot stuff in the same way and whatnot. But I love it. At the time, I'm like, this is silly. It's a bit silly. Like, when you have to do stuff, and you're like, oh, people are looking at me and like, what am I doing? But then it all kind of pays off when you see that visual result at the end.
Yeah.
I love a good, like, stylish video. Like, I'm obsessed with, like, visual things. I just love seeing, like, finished product. Yeah. And I always look at that, I'm like, this is going to look amazing. Like, and I get so excited when I see little bits that I'm like, let me have a look, please. Okay, maybe I need to, like, put my hair on that. Like, little things like that. I'd say that's interesting, actually. I probably annoy people who film stuff. So I'm like, can I just have a check? No, maybe I'd look better like this. Like, moving around. But I found that really interesting.
Yeah.
It's like I did a similar thing when I got my last headshots done. I paid a lot of money for my last headshot. So I was like, I'm not going to mess this up, so I'm going to practice. Yeah. So I had to practice, like, how I was going to... subtle movements. Oh, my head looks better on that angle. Yeah, I find it interesting doing music videos for that reason. Yeah. And filming stuff for that reason, because I'm like, what's my best angle? Now I'm like, how do I look?
Yeah, it's funny because I guess, like, if you said that to 99% of the time, well, it depends on the person, but if they say, oh, can I look at it right now? Because there's going to be so much done afterwards, like you're not seeing that.
Oh yeah, like the finished product. Yeah.
But because of your experience, and you know what I mean, I'd be like, yeah, you can have a look because you understand.
So I'm not looking at it and being like, oh, that looks crap because the colour's crap. Like, it'd be to kind of help you out. It's like collaboration, isn't it? And that's how I love collaborating more than anything with people. So if I can help anybody out in a way, and I can get something from somebody else artistically on a project, then that's incredible to me. I'm fascinated by that. So if I was to say, you can have a look at that, or maybe I need to just take one step back, or maybe I need to angle my head in a different way, or keep my chin down a bit, or whatever. Or maybe it's a I think it's a thought process thing. Because a lot, when you're doing music videos especially, and there's no script, you have to be engaged behind the eyes, in the brain. You have to know what you're thinking, you have to know what your meaning, what your intentions are. So if that doesn't read in my eyes, and I'm not telling the story, then I want to do something about it.
Yeah, so you need to know your motivation, your purpose. And
yeah,
that's quite cool. Which, music videos themselves are, they've had like a bit of a renaissance, I think, because of the birth of the internet. But that collaboration thing's interesting because I have friends that work in creative industries, but I'm like, I need to talk. Sometimes I'm like, I need to fucking talk to someone about how I'm filming this, because I'm like, because I'm like, sometimes I film tons of corporate stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
you just need somebody to tell you.
Something, and I'm like, this might look shit when I get home. Like, I'm gonna have to spend hours,
trying to like.
And I'm like, oh, where are these people? And unfortunately, they're not. They are on the internet, but they're incredibly hard to find, because if you Google like how to frame a shot, you just get loads of fucking like awful YouTubers. Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to you know what I mean? I'm like, I could do some collaborative projects. You know what I mean? Might get some co-directors on board. It'd just be nice to work in like a. That's the other thing about like big productions, is like to have a cinematographer and a sound recorder, and they're like, oh yes, like people that are like that understand the craft. Therefore, I can bounce ideas off them.
And everyone I find, like, especially in the industry, in theatre industry, in the film and TV industry, like, obviously you only, when people at home watch these programs or watch these shows, they only see us actors. And they're like, they're the stars, they're this, they're that. And so often, everybody else kind of gets pushed to the side. And it's not like that at all. And I truly believe that everybody in a company, in a show, is equal. And everybody on a set is equal, because you're all there for the same purpose. You all want to create. You all want to create this product. You all want to put on a good show. So, knowing that as an actor, because I think some actors, I'm like, you're knocking down a few pegs, mate. Like, it's all about. It's interesting when you work in companies like that, and there's one ego that sticks out. And tries to make that whole thing about them, or two people, or a couple of people. Like, and we're all like, we're not perfect. None of us are perfect. We all have like our moments where you're like, I don't know, you act up or whatever, and then you feel bad about it after. I do anyway. If I do anything remotely like that, I try to do it as calm as possible, and then I'm like, okay, I need to like apologise. That wasn't fair. And that's my ego taking over. But with that, like, it's interesting, because then the more you understand that, the more you can pick out people who
because you see
ego, and they're not interested in the creative side of things. They're more interested in their own kind of how they look, and I find that so frustrating. Because I love nothing more than being like, right, everyone in a room, what are we doing? Like, let's all write a song. Let's all do this. You play the drums. You play that. Like, I love that. And I love that with films and stuff like that. I don't know, I just love the whole, in that way I like the creative process. But when I'm on my own writing, I'm my own worst enemy. That is, you know what's interesting, I hope we're not going to your topic, but like, what's interesting is with the writing thing, with a life thing actually, I was listening to a podcast by Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, and she does this podcast on creativity. It's really interesting. She speaks to different creatives who are in a rut of somewhere, and she tries to help them out of it. And this one week, she gave somebody an exercise that was like, okay, now I want you to write a letter, 3 letters. I want you to write a letter to yourself from your fear. So personify these things. I want you to write a letter to yourself from your courage, I think it was. And then I want you to respond to your fear and your courage in a letter. And it sounds a bit whack and a bit out there. But I was like, okay, I'm bored, on tour, I'm not doing anything. And I wrote this letter to myself from my fear. And it was absolutely horrendous. And if anybody else had read it and been like, who wrote you that letter? It's disgusting. I'd be like, that was me to myself.
Yeah.
And with regards to being your own worst enemy, it's amazing how hard you can be on yourself and how like horrible you can be to yourself and unkind. And you wouldn't treat anybody else like that. So why are you treating yourself like that?
Yeah.
Like, and that is so kind of detrimental to a creative process that you're trying to do, I think. And that's been one of my biggest learning curves of the year. Because I read that letter, it's brutal.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
I might have to do it because I'm like, yeah, some dark shit's going to come out of that, you know?
Yeah, but it's good to kind of air those feelings and be aware about it. Because then you're like, no, that's not true. It's almost like exercising demons. Like you're just getting it out of your head and all on paper. Then you're like, I can just scribble that up and throw it, and that makes it then. So what you got going on next year? What's coming up? Do you know what? You know as much as me. I haven't got a clue. And do you know what? I'm learning to be okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm learning. I'm getting there. At the moment, I'm just gigging around over Christmas and stuff like that. People are like, you're going to be back to London, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you know what? Chill out. Not your life. I don't know. Like, I'm going to assess the situation in the new year. There's only so long I can live with my mum. I love you, mum. But we're kind of, we're the same person. So to move back and live with your parents is quite difficult when you've been living on your own for so long. But
it is,
I don't know is the question. But I like to say gunning for bigger and better, and I kind of put it out there. I'm like, I want more. I want bigger stuff. And from that, I mean, I got all these no's, and then I got a really good audition like a few weeks after, when I was like, I'm not taking this, I want better. And then this audition came along for a movie that I was like, oh shit, like, oh my god,
it works.
Yeah, and I met like I went in and I was like super cool, met the casting director and whatever, thinking nothing will come of that. Got a recall, met the director, this Oscar-winning bloody director. Didn't get it, but I was like, this is mint. That was mint. Okay, didn't get the movie, but I'm like, okay, when I go for bigger and better, that's what happens. Cool. But
what do you want to do?
I'd love to get into like TV and film, but I'd also really like to finish something. That's the most frustrating thing that I'm giving myself a hard time for at the minute. I'm like, God, you can never finish anything. You have all these ideas, you're all talk, no action. So I need to step down and just be like, okay, stop being horrible to yourself. You are going to do this. It'll be fine. Just take your time. But I wrote a few things that I maybe want to record. I don't know. Maybe I can speak to you about it. Like short film wise. I really want to write something about this area. I want to write something about Borough, and I want to film it because it's such a visually stunning place, I think. And not enough of it is on our tellies. I mean, it's quite a nice secret for us, but God, it just looks so beautiful, like on the telly. I would love that.
I've got a project that's going to upset some people about Middlesbrough, but I'll tell you about that.
Decent.
I thought, it's not quite the nicest side of it, but we'll figure it out. So if someone wants to hire you, if someone wants you to come and act on their one for music video or be part of their production, where can they find you?
Instagram and Twitter. I'm Jessica Daley on the gram and on the Twitter. JessicaCar7 is the handle. People are like, you can change your handle. I'm like, I don't want to. Can I? I've had it for so long that people actually call me Jessica Car.
Right. Okay.
So I'm it's stuck. I'm not changing it.
Do you have a website or what?
Do you know what I do? It mainly has my writing of essays on creating mess daily.
Cool. I like it. Very clever.
What can I say? I've not written in a while because I'm processing some hardcore mental shit at the minute. But good.
Cool. We've done an hour there.
Thank you.
Alright, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.